Okay, so Mama Tina's gumbo had people out here sick and allegedly vomiting up blood. We got the details on the divorce settlement with Todd and Kandi. So we're gonna find out if City Boys are up or if Todd didn't come out of there with none. We're gonna see how well that prenup held up. And of course, we're going to talk about Jules Smith because if we talk about Mama Tina, we might as well just keep it in the family. He's allegedly dating 41-year-old Tommy Lee, and he's only 21. We got to get into it. So grab your tea, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, get comfortable. Let's get into the news. So we're going to start with my favorite couple from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kandi and Todd. So last year, I want to say it was like November of 2025, they announced that after 11 years of marriage, they were getting a divorce. Some say that there was speculation that Todd may have been out here dealing with other women, that they had an open relationship, and that there were other people involved in their relationship, and that he may have had more time that he spent with one that was kind of given relationship energy, and it's supposed to be something that only Kandi and Todd did together if they were going to be dealing with other people. We don't really know the circumstances of why they're no longer a couple, but what we do know is the settlement agreement that they finally came to after months of a pretty bitter divorce. They were putting out stories on each other. Pretty much Kandi called Todd a scrub, saying that he was living in her back house, honey, not even the main house. He was living in the back house. She said he wasn't paying nothing towards no bills. He wasn't chipping in no money towards the household. He wasn't helping out with the kids. She was paying for everything. According to Todd, he wasn't living in the main house because Kandi had, and allegedly some family members or friends had involuntarily moved him out of the main house. But when you're getting a divorce, that kind of makes sense to me. You're probably not going to be cohabitating in the same manner that you did when you were married. So that's not too crazy because it was her house to begin with. But nonetheless, that's why he says he's there. And he claimed that they had a shared account that he was putting money into. And then Kandi chose not to use that account anymore because she wanted to cover everything. We'll see if the judge was buying his story, buying a situation. Let's see what they came out with on the settlement. So I got these documents up here that we're going to go over and we're going to react to them together. And let me get to our first page here. All right, so we're going to go over this divorce settlement for Kandi and Todd. This is from Us Weekly. I got this from online, so I'm going to step out of the video and we're going to go over this and then we're going to react to it. So it says neither party will be paid child support or spousal support. And I know that Todd was going for child support. I'm not sure if he was going for spousal support, but that wouldn't surprise me because I think Candy's the one who makes the most money. But it looks like the judge wasn't going to be giving that out. It says Burris will keep the children's passports, which is interesting because you'll need those if you're going to travel internationally. But I'm not sure why she would be able to keep that possession versus something that's joint. It says, oh, Tucker can request them from her ahead of any international travel. So it looks like she just wants to hold on to those, have them in her possession. But if he needs them, she'll share it. And I do appreciate that. I like to keep the stuff myself because sometimes people be losing things and I'm just feeling like I'd be better at maintaining it. So I can understand. And welcome to everybody that has joined the live. We really appreciate you being here. We're going over the divorce settlement for Kandi and Todd. As you come in, like the video, it's a free way to support the channel. Lets YouTube know we're here. It helps with the algorithm. Really appreciate it. Let's get back into it. When it comes to finances, Burris will pay Tucker a lump sum, $426,000, according to the court documents. All right. Do you think $426,000 is reasonable for 10, 11 years of marriage? Do you think you should have got more out of there? I don't know. I'm going to say right now that's not City Boys up because that's not the type of money I thought he was going to be getting from this. It seemed like he was really fighting to try to get something out of this divorce. Now, I'm going to tell you, $426,000 ain't nothing to sneeze at. I will happily take that. And that would change, for me, that changed my whole life. But I don't know in comparison to what Todd's situation is because they live on more money than I do. They got a little bit more money that they spend on their lifestyle. I don't know if that's considered a lot for him or not very much, but y'all let me know what you think in the chat. And let's get into the other settlement pieces. So they agreed to sell a food truck they owned together. Did y'all know they owned a food truck? I know Todd was trying to do the restaurant business. They had a Blaze Steak and Seafood. That one, they ended up losing a settlement or losing a case where they now have to pay a settlement to the landlord for that particular business. It was a six-figure settlement. I can't remember the number right now, but we did do a live on it. We have it up on the video if you want to take a look at it. I'll also link it in the description box after the live. And they have to pay that. So I know he was doing some stuff in the food industry, but I didn't know they had no food truck. Let me know if y'all did know that. And if you've ever tried any of the food they have from this food truck. I don't know if it's operating or what. Let's get back into it. The real estate divvied up between the exes was redacted in the paperwork. Okay, so we won't be able to see what they agreed to real estate wise, but that's okay. Tucker agreed to vacate Burr's guest home within 15 days of the parenting deal being signed. Congratulations, Kandi. It looks like you're going to have your house back. I don't know how soon. I don't know if he's already gone or what the situation is there, but I'm sure she's happy about that. And hopefully Todd's got somewhere to land on his feet. Well, he's going to have at least $426,000 to start with. Let me know if y'all think 15 days is too short of a time or that he should have been gone without the judge having to tell him to go. Let me know what you think in the comments. And let's see, is there any more on here? All right, now we're going to get to the last one. And they also reached an agreement who will get some of their cars. So let's see what they got here. Burse is going to keep her 2022 Bentley SUV, Cadillac Escalade, Ford F-250, Porsche Cayenne SUV, and a 1963 Chevy Camaro. Tucker will hold on to a 2020 Mercedes G-Wagon, 2020 Porsche 911, okay, 2023 Range Rover, 1973 Ford Bronco, a 1963 Lincoln, and a Ford Transit van. That must be for when he's doing daddy daycare, taking the kids, or he may just like to roll in a van. So it looks like they had quite a bit of cars that they had between the two of them, but it appears they've come to a amiable agreement, at least as far as I know. That's how it's going on both sides. Let me know what you think. Is this what you expected? Did you think it was going to be a little different outcome? I know I thought it was going to be more. I thought Todd was going to come out of there with some kind of spousal support or child support money, something else, because I feel like Kandi is the breadwinner, so he would need to get some kind of ongoing money from her to kind of maintain something close to the type of life that they had together. But I could be wrong. Todd might be balling on his own. Let me know what you guys think of this settlement in the comments. Anna, welcome. What are you talking about with this? Let me know what that was in reference to. And now we're going to go on to our next story. So, Mama Tina's gumbo has been all across my feed here. So, Mama Tina is Tina Knowles, and she is the mother to Beyonce Knowles and to Solange Knowles. And she is from Texas, and she was down to the Houston rodeo and had her Mama Tina's gumbo. And naturally, because everybody loves Beyonce, maybe there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, everybody loves Beyonce. And by extension, everybody loves Tina Knowles, Mama Tina. We've seen her the whole time. Destiny Child been out, so we kind of feel like she's our mom, our auntie, through social media or through the screen, as they say. Well, I think they call it a parasocial relationship. So we don't, maybe some of y'all do, but we don't know them. But you watch them over the years. You've seen interviews, seen them on different things. So you kind of feel like you have a sense of who these people are. So out of support and I'm sure love for Beyonce and Miss Tina herself, folks was out to the Houston rodeo to try her gumbo. Sadly, this is what the gumbo was given. At least this is a picture I was able to find of it online. Sadly, this gumbo, however, was causing people to get sick to the point that some people allegedly were vomiting blood. That to me is absolutely crazy. So we got to get into these health code violations that was found from Mama Tina's gumbo. And I got some screenshots. We're going to go over that. This is from the Click to Houston. I found this online. So we are about to get into these details here. And this is from the health inspection that had got Mama Tina's gumbo shut down. And these are from, different complaints, things that they found. So per this article, Houston health inspectors investigating a customer illness complaint after eating Mama Tina's gumbo at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo found thawed seafood labeled keep frozen. Now we're going to stop right there. Whenever something is supposed to be frozen and it is found thawed out, and it's seafood, anything, but especially seafood, you got to throw it out. It's done gone bad. You don't want to mess with seafood that has gone bad. That'll turn your stomach inside out, have you doing all kinds of crazy stuff in the bathroom. You don't want no parts of it. I'm pretty disappointed to hear that there was food that was supposed to be kept frozen that was found thawed. But this kind of makes sense with some of the reviews we were hearing, because some people were saying it was nasty, it didn't smell right, it didn't look right. And that kind of makes sense because spoiled seafood turns your stomach, it stinks. So you could probably tell through the actual gumbo itself that something wasn't right. You can smell when seafood is off. Let me know what y'all think about this, keeping seafood thawed that was supposed to be kept frozen. That's not a good look. And then they learned gumbo had been moved to a freezer at an unlicensed offsite location. Unlicensed offsite location without temperature logs before being served. Now, when you're going to serve hot food, especially food that includes seafood and all other kind of things in there, you got to make sure you got all your sanitary set up with everything you need to keep the area sanitary. And you got to make sure you follow very strict cleaning and proper food prep and proper food storage. If you don't know those things at a minimum, please don't be out here selling food just for the sake of selling food, because you can make folks really sick, or better yet, somebody could lose their life. You never know. It's not a game you want to play with at all. I don't know that you could make enough money that would make it worth it, because if people, sue you, they get really sick and it ends up being a legal problem for you, it really won't be worth it in the end. I just can't even stress enough. If you're going to do food stuff, especially food on a mass scale like that, you got to make sure you have your stuff together here. This is not a good look. Unlicensed off-site location without temperature logs before being served. That's kind of scary. Let's keep it going down. So the complaint received March 16th. The customer said she ate gumbo in the afternoon and later developed symptoms including vomiting, chills, nausea, fever. The records show customer also reported she was throwing up. I'm gonna hit up on the second page here. Let's see. She was throwing up blood, and then the health department responded to the pop-up shop, and they had inspectors learned gumbo had been prepared at an off-site location where it was cooled, placed into non-food grade orange buckets. Non-food grade orange buckets, and taken to a freezer at an unlicensed location. Records show frozen gumbo then got taken to a refrigerated trailer at the rodeo where it was kept to thaw before being served. That sounds like a mess. That is not the way you should be serving food. You should be making it that day on the spot like this, chilling and thawing and chilling and thawing. That doesn't seem like the right process to me when you're dealing with seafood or gumbo. I don't remember my grandma ever doing nothing like that, because she made gumbo all the time. I don't remember her doing no stuff like that. I don't think I've ever heard of freezing gumbo, but I don't know. Y'all tell me. Maybe that's just me. And then we got, let's see here. But operators of Mama Tina's didn't have any temperature logs showing the cooling or storing time, and the inspector observed bags of frozen shrimp and crab, the label that stated keep frozen. The inspector found these following reasons that caused it to be shut down. Number one, food being stored inside of non-food grade containers that may contaminate food. Food being stored outside of an unpermitted facility, then transported for service from the unapproved source. Food source used after the first day and was not listed on the approved permit application. No documentation showing proper cooling and temperature logs. Cooling and temperatures and times for foods. No date marking food prepared more than 24 hours prior. Frozen food not kept frozen. So they had to take the time to go over what they needed to do to improve, to make sure that they could open up and operate. And Mama Tina's Gumbo has been reopened. I don't know if the Houston Rodeo is still going on, but this is a great lesson. If it don't smell right, it don't look right, don't eat it. Be very careful with seafood and make sure that you know where you're getting your food from. Sometimes just getting stuff because somebody is a celebrity and you want to just be close to that celebrity or be in proximity to them, you may not always be getting the best product. And unfortunately, it just is giving the appearance that it was just purely like a money grab situation. They were just trying to like do stuff in the most cost efficient way, maybe not the safest and best practices for health with food and safety regulations and rules. So we'll see how this one goes. We're definitely going to be keeping track of it, and you will get your updates here on Aries Rose TV. We love Mama Tina. We wish you all the best. Sorry that this happened, but unfortunately people got really sick, and it appears that the inspectors found that there was some things that needed to be addressed, and hopefully that prevents it from happening to anybody else. Let me know if you went down to the Houston Rodeo. Let me know if you tried Mama Tina's Gumbo. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you get sick from it? Let me know here in the comments. Now we're going to slide on over to the relationship nobody had on their 2026 bingo card. And that is Julez Smith and Tommy Lee. Julez Smith, you may be wondering, who is that? That is the son of Solange Knowles, the nephew of Beyonce Knowles. He hasn't really been out there all that much. I obviously knew he was there because back in the day, when Destiny's Child was out and Solange would perform with Destiny's Child, and she was kind of out with them all the time. We following news on them. You get news on her, and you heard she was pregnant. I believe she was 17. Married a high school sweetheart at the time, Daniel Smith. They had a son, Julez, and he's pretty much been outside of the limelight. I think this is the most I've ever really heard his name brought up, to be honest with you. And he most recently came up on my radar because he apparently got paid to go out and host the club because he's now 21. And he went out to host at a club that was for men that like men. And apparently he was kind of standoffish, didn't really interact with the crowd, didn't want to really talk, pretty much be fun. That was kind of the energy I was getting from the way they were describing how he was, that he was kind of surrounded by 20 women. And when this particular magazine or group that invited him to come and host was like, where do you want to do this interview? When you want to do that, he wasn't trying to do the interview. He said, that's going to cost you extra. So there were some questions of, I guess, his orientation because he was there, kind of how he was acting. And I don't know if they felt like, are you having women surround you to try to make clear that you're not of that orientation? I don't know why he didn't really want to mingle or not. He may just also be new to hosting clubs and not be familiar with what you're supposed to do there. He is 21. He just turned 21. So if you've never been to a club, never seen somebody host, maybe he didn't have an idea of what you were supposed to be like or how to interact with the crowd, get them hyped. I don't know. But nonetheless, that got people talking. And next thing you know, he pops up with Tommy Lee. And she is on his back like this. This little video of them walking. She's saying that that's her baby. And it's just really surprising because people had never seen these two out. Not to mention they got about a 20-year age difference. And allegedly Tommy is older than Julez' mom, Solange, who is 39, I'm hearing. I don't know if it's real or not, but some people are saying that he is only dealing with Tommy to try and change the narrative of people questioning his orientation, and to also help with the negative comments and stuff that's been going on, negative press, if you will, about Mama Tina's gumbo and that whole situation with it being shut down and people getting sick. I don't know what this young man's orientation is or not, but as far as I know, he's only been publicly known to be with women. And he allegedly had some scandal situation with Sky Jackson. Let me know if you want to get more details on that and we can deep dive into that more. But Sky Jackson used to be on Disney. She was one of the, she was a child star at the time on a show, I think it was called Jessie, if I'm not mistaken. And she was like one of several adopted kids who was living in a high rise condo, very rich, wealthy family. And then they had like a nanny sitter, Jessie, who took them all around and stuff because the parents were always gone. It was a cute show. At the time, my daughter was younger, so I did catch a lot of Disney Channel stuff. She is now a mom and had a tumultuous relationship with somebody else, but apparently her relationship with Julez was also not really good either. But we'll see how this works out between these two. I think with a 20-year age difference like this, and she's clearly had more life experience than this young man, I don't know that I think that this relationship's going to last. I don't even know that I believe this relationship is real, but it's definitely got the people talking. We'll see how it goes. We're definitely keeping track of this one too, and you'll get your updates here on Aries Rose TV. But let me know what you think of this new couple. Do you think it's just a publicity stunt, or they're really digging each other? It's not so much the age difference. I mean, it is for me. I'm going to tell you right now, if my son was 21 and a 40-year-old woman came up trying to be with him, I'm going to have a problem with that. That's just me personally. He is a grown man. He can do what he wants to do. For me, I think that age difference is just too big. You got to have a little bit more life under you before you can start dealing with somebody who's got a 20-year head start on life. But to each their own. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more. We're on the road to 3,000. Thank you so much for all the support and engagement. It's really, really, really appreciated. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, night, afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching. And we'll see you later.